Hello and welcome to another update video about Cosmos Atom. So yeah, it's still it's still holding well, but it's not a beautiful chart because it's not a clean impulse, at least not yet. I did mention it before. You have a lot of overlaps here, so really the only way to really count this entire beginning here is so from the low at around 550 to count this is as a diagonal pattern, and there are various options to do it. I chose here a fairly simple option, but we can make it much more complex. I don't know if it's really worth showing you all of that, but really there are a few key levels that we need to look out for. At the moment, we can be carefully optimistic that we will still go higher, maybe after a little bit more of a dip here. But what you need to understand, anything that comes, sort of with a diagonal pattern, it's never great. So this is at the moment a possible breakout scenario. Now, we don't have 5 clear waves yet, and that is what makes this scenario also, I don't want to say less likely, but it makes it not complete yet, which means we cannot really be certain that this is a proper breakout. And what I would like to see and wait for is the 5 waves complete and then an ABC down, and that would be another entry point. Now, the last entry point we had here on this chart, that was down here, that was around $11.80. Now, we have obviously moved up nicely since then. At the peak, we had roughly 47%. So that's certainly decent. But now we need to hold this level. That's a key level to hold. But let's first of all talk about this scenario and the invalidation points. And I'm going to show you another scenario as well. And then we take a look at, what needs to happen next. So in this scenario, it is a fairly simple one. I've got here a 1, a 2, this as a 3, this as a 4, which might still be ongoing, to be honest, possibly. And then the wave 5 to the upside. So it's a bit of a messy chart due to all these overlaps. This here was a 3-wave move down, sort of, and therefore we talked about in the previous video that this could have been a wave 4. Now, if we look at the retracements, you can see that with this wave 4, we actually reached perfectly the 38.2% fib level. Now, therefore, it could be assumed that this was already a wave 1 up. At the moment, this move to the downside is a 3-wave move. And ideally, we very, very shortly reverse to the upside. So key support here is 13.35. But what I can tell you is that if we go basically below the $14 level, below the 78.6% fib level, this view that this is already the 1-2 setup of the wave 5 becomes unreliable. If we break this level, what can we assume then? Well, my first assumption, if we break below $14, would be that we are not in this imminent breakout, but that we haven't finished wave 4 yet. Yeah, so there is definitely a chance that, we measure that again, that we are coming down to the 50% fib level in this wave 4, which is at 12.28. So that's absolutely possible, and then we would have here an A, B, C. So I'm just showing you the options here. Below $14, I think we have here an A, B, C, and would then start again from around 12.28, the 50% fib level, with another opportunity for this 5th wave to the upside. So just have these options on the radar. Okay, $14 is key support. Now, this is only one possibility. There is one more, which would also be bullish, but it assumes that we have a series of 1-2 setups here. Now just try to show it to you because I don't want to label it because it's a bit messy, and also it's not really too important, but this would assume that this was a first 1-2 setup, a leading diagonal. Then we had another 1-2 setup here. So generally, if you don't know what that is, it's basically, I explained it many times, but these 1-2 setups, they're the beginning of a wave count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you have more 1-2 setups, it's generally a bullish signal. But if you have too many, it gets unrealistic at some point. Okay, so if you have too many, yeah, it's sort of, you can't really believe it anymore at some point. So I think 4 is sort of the maximum. Already with 4, it's getting unrealistic. And if I count it like this, I have 4 1-2 setups. So I could count this as another 1-2, and then here we have another 1, and then possibly we're coming down here in a wave 2. And again, in the short term, it doesn't really make a great difference, because as I showed you here as well, we've got two options. Either the wave 4 was finished here, or it's going to be finished down here. The same story with that latest 1-2 setup. Now, the good thing with this wave count is that we don't really need to worry about all of this messy beginning. What is really important is what's happening here. And again, the key support level here is for me this $12.30 level. Below that level, it will just get very, very difficult. And you know, at the very latest, if we break below that 1150 level, I think this breakout is over. Yeah, then we're just falling down too far. Then the wave in the wave 4 scenario, this would have then dropped too much. And if we take this 1-2 setup out, it will be messed up anyway. So this is the key level, make or break point here. First of all, $14. If we lose this level, which we might, then it's the $12.30 level. And if we lose that level, then it's 1150. But if we lose 1150, then I think all of this breakout is done. There is no breakout then, yeah. And then we have to assume that all of this, in the worst case, was just a corrective move up, and it will be smashed down in to make a new low. So what you need to understand this is a very complex pattern. It's very hard to get a clear view of the micro count, especially with all these overlaps. It's a very, very extended overlapping beginning here, and that's never good. Yeah, that doesn't give a lot of confidence. It's still a chart that moved up significantly and is holding really, really well. So we can potentially see this bullish, as I said. Yeah, and this is sort of my primary expectation, that we are moving higher from here until it breaks. But I gave you the key break and invalidation points here. Yeah, so very, very relevant. Yeah, should we lose that 1150 level, I think the breakout is over. Okay, and that's my update about Cosmos Atom. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.